Good day. I am astrologer Lateesha Hinton, and I am continuing on my series of Venus in the signs in the Natal Chart. So today we will discuss Venus being in the sign of Virgo. Venus is the goddess of love. She wants harmony and peace and beauty. She rules over all of these things. She wants there to be togetherness, and she wants there to be peace. And she is at home in the sign of Taurus, and she's at home in the sign of Libra, and she's exalted in the sign of Pisces. So she's at the very top pinnacle, at the highest of heights in the sign of Pisces, where she's able to operate it at her very best with the things that she loves. And when she comes into the sign of Virgo, she has taken a fall from the highest heights down into the sign of Virgo. And so, because Virgo is opposite the sign of Pisces. So what is it that we want to understand about the sign of Virgo? So Virgo is a double-bodied sign, as the ancients called it. It is mutable. It is feminine earth. And so the sign of Virgo, when we say double-bodied or mutable, it has the energy, it incorporates the energy of the sign that comes before it, which is the sign of Leo, and the sign that comes after it, which is the sign of Libra. And so it blends, or it joins both the season of summer and fall. It stands between those two. So of the double body signs, of the mutable signs, it is the most stable because it is Earth. Unlike Gemini and Sagittarius and Pisces, it is the more stable of the mutable signs. But there is still some changeability, of course, because it is a double body sign. There is changeability within it, but just not as much as the others. So when we talk about Virgo, it is ruled by the sign, by the planet Mercury. Mercury takes his exaltation in the sign of Virgo. So Virgo is a sign that is represented by the Virgin. And the Virgin does not mean like virgin without having sex, but it means virgin in the sense of unprocessed or uncontaminated. So the sign of Virgo, as the ancients understood it and gave the attribution of the Virgin, it was understood that the sign of Virgo is about preparedness, being prepared to bring in the harvest, making sure that all of the T's have been crossed and all of the I's have been dotted, that all of the tools are prepared, that all of the wheat is where it needs to be, that all of the people have been accounted for to bring in the harvest, and all of the bales are prepared to take it in, and all of the water is available so that the wheat can be rinsed, and so that it could be separated from the chaff, and that all of the details that need to be taken care of to prepare. Preparation is the key word, to prepare and to make sure that everything is accounted for. Everything is accounted for. So it is just like when we talk about virgin olive oil, it has been prepared in a way that it has not been contaminated. So it takes great detail in order to do that, in order to have that product be a virgin product that is clean, without contamination, and cold pressed. It takes great detail and organization to do that. So that is what we are looking at when we have the sign of Virgo. So if Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces, where she can just go into the clouds and easily go into the ethereal state and be able to get downloads from spirit to create the most beautiful music and to be able to just love endlessly. It's in water, so it's just in flow, so it's just this greatest ease. There's no worries, there's no stress, there's just this ability to escape when Venus is in Pisces. So when she comes down and takes this fall into Virgo, now when it relates to love and it relates to beauty and harmony and these things, it is quite challenging for Venus to operate in Mercury's home of Virgo. So when she comes into his home of Virgo, the tools that Mercury has to give to Venus, because Mercury is the host as she is staying in his home, Virgo, what he has to give her in this sign are all of the tools for data collecting and making sure that things are in order and in structure and making sure that everything is prepared. There is this, he can give her the tools of being detail oriented and a very critical eye to make sure that things are perfectly prepared for the harvest. So Venus, this is what she has to operate with as it relates to love, as it relates to self-love, as it relates to loving other people and friendship. So what tends to come out is this this eye for detail. This what can often be seen as this, negative Nancy, critical eye. This need for perfection in self and with other people. So love is about how can I serve to get you prepared as it relates to love. How can I serve you? Because Virgo again is this sign of serving to prepare for the harvest. So, lending service to make sure that everything is where it needs to be for the harvest. So as it relates to love, you're going to see someone who is offering service to another person in a very practical way. Love looks practical, with Venus in Virgo. Love is about, can I buy you a blender because, you need a blender to make the foods that you like. It's not going to get the flowers like it would be in Pisces or in Taurus or in Libra. It's thinking about being practical and helpful, looking at the very earthy details that are needed. Can I buy you some vitamin C to help you? Can I give you a massage to help you? And then it is critical and saying, you need to eat better. And if you wouldn't be sick if you went to exercise and so forth. But oftentimes they cannot see how critical they are being because this is normal. This is how love operates and flows through them in this very detail oriented way. And it is a behind the scenes type of love when it comes to Virgo. It's not all out in the public and being showy. It is quiet. It is earthy. It is grounded. The love that comes through from Venus in Virgo. It is one that, wants to have things in order and in structure at home. Things need to be placed in a practical place, where they can be reached easily. And, there is a concern, a worry that they have about things being right. There's a worry of not being prepared, not having everything where it needs to be. So much so that they can weary themselves out of giving and receiving tenderness, giving and receiving kindness, for oftentimes not feeling that they deserve it, because this Venus in Virgo can be so overly critical of themselves and other people, not out of malice, but just out of that nature that comes from this mercurial sign that wants things to be prepared, just prepared for what is to come. And in that, it can be difficult for them to just relax and live in the moment and accept the moment. But the love from them is, it is very deep and it is very real. For them to come into balance, they need to move more towards the center, move more towards the center of this axis of Pisces and Virgo, so that they can come to a place where they relax. The Venus in Virgo, they need a project. If you are with someone who has a Venus in Virgo, they need a project to do for you, to feel balanced. They need to work on something. They need to have something to fix. This is how you can support them. Because if you just say, don't worry, everything is going to be okay, they can't do that. It's just not a part of the tools that they have. They need to be fixing something. They need to be serving. They need to be doing something for you. They need to be, they need you to need them. They need you to need them, and they need you to be able to, they need you to be able to ask them to do the thing, and to trust them to get it done, and to be able to understand that this is how their love operates. They're going to be tinkering around the house. They can't just be still. They need to be doing. They need to be doing to feel that they're operating at their best in this love relationship. They need to be doing something for you, finding a way, solving the problem for you. And this is how they love, in this very practical way. Okay. My name is Lateesha with Soul Spread Wisdom. Thank you so much for listening. You can find me at soulspreadwisdom.com. You can email me at info@soulspreadwisdom.com. Please like and subscribe, share, leave a comment. Let me know if you have Venus in Virgo, or if you know someone with Venus in Virgo, and how this Venus shows love to you. Ase 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 O, Yad He Vav He.